Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Hope Watts, board certified family physician, speaker, health coach, and lifestyle expert. Today, I want to talk with you about the Corona Belly. Um, as you all know, we are in the season of the coronavirus, and some of you are dealing with the Corona Belly. This condition, we believe, came about as a result of COVID-19. There are many issues that we've had to deal with COVID. Some that we surmise were from COVID, and others came about as the COVID-19 started to pan out into the country. Since all the gyms have been closed and many have been sheltered at home, lots of people are seeing their abdominal girth increase in a steady fashion. Some have gained as much as 20 pounds or more, and it has all been deposited in the Corona Belly. Let's be clear, I am not talking about drinking the alcoholic beverage Corona. Let's talk about one of the side effects of the COVID-19 virus, namely the Corona Belly. Firstly, have you been just dealing with a lot of stuff with the coronavirus, being sheltered at home, tired of not knowing what's going to happen next? And so you go to the things that make you feel good. You get out the Doritos, the chips, tortilla chips, use it with your salsa, pick your favorite Netflix videos or movies or documentaries, or you're a Game of Thrones fan and you have decided you're going to binge watch all of those Game of Thrones episodes. But it's always good to have your favorite snacks with you. And so you've been doing this throughout the time you've been sheltered. And since you've been going to the gym, they are off limits at the present time. So you've been sheltered at home and you have become an A1 couch potato and have given the Corona Belly permission to set up shop. Did you really think that eating anything and everything would not show up at all? You can smile at this point, because if I was texting you, I'd put a smiley face on it. Or you can give me a thumbs up. So let's talk about the types of carbs you have been eating. If you've been eating a lot of snack foods, and most of those are in this crackly, crunchy paper, and it's nicely prepared, so when you pick it up, you know you're getting the right thing. These types of foods also include cakes, cookies, donuts, pastas, and breads. These foods have a lot of calories, and when you're not using these calories, i.e. exercising or walking around, it gets stored in your body, or most likely in your belly. Other carbs that can add to this include sodas, fruit juices, and anything with high fructose corn syrup. Many of these beverages and some of the foods we have just mentioned have a lot of sugars, but they have very low nutritional value. So let's talk about some healthy ways to make sure you can have snacks, but not the type of snacks that seem to contribute to the Corona Belly. Healthy snacks include almonds, pecans, walnuts, macadamia nuts, and veggies. finger food. You can use that with ranch dressing or any other kind of dressing you would like. These snacks have high nutritional value and they do not have a lot of carbs. Also, let's talk about breakfast. Many people skip breakfast, but statistics show that people who include breakfast in there early in the morning do a better job of losing weight than those that skip breakfast in the morning. And you may say, well, Dr. Watts, I am not a breakfast person. And I can understand that, but let's talk about this. We're trying to lose some weight. So if breakfast foods are not what you like to eat, then I would suggest trying doing a half a sandwich in the morning time. It has protein in it, and maybe don't have 2 slices of bread, have a half a slice of bread. Or if you have leftovers from last night and you don't want to eat a whole lot, you can have a small amount of that for breakfast. And as I say, most of the time, breakfast food is in the first world countries, but in other countries, they eat something that they have on hand. They don't necessarily look for breakfast food. They have something that they eat all the time. So when you're picking out breakfast foods, eggs are a very good staple. And you can have eggs in any type you would like. And the manufacturers and the food companies have done an excellent job of giving you fast egg meals. I have found frozen egg meals that are in a little cup, like a muffin cup, and you just microwave them according to what they say on the label, and they are delicious. They come in different flavors. You can get them with ham in it or bacon in it or just cheese, and some of them have veggies in them. So those are excellent on-the-go snacks, or you can make them yourself. There are lots of recipes online about making small muffin tin amounts of eggs that you can just freeze and have on hand when you want to eat some breakfast. And additionally, many of the fast food places and some non-fast food places have meals with eggs in them, but usually they have a certain amount of bread, a bagel, or a muffin. Avoid eating the whole muffin, and some have croissants also. I would say avoid eating the whole muffin or the whole croissant because that's adding more calories than you really want. You can also have some breakfast meat, and many of these meals at fast food have some breakfast meat or they have some cheese. So breakfast is available, and I understand everybody doesn't like eggs. They like cereal, but cereal does have carbs in it. But if you're using a small amount, you can do that also. For lunch and dinner, I would recommend at least having one large salad a day, and with some protein. And I say that because many people will grab something on the go or they'll go to fast food and get something, and usually it's a burger with fries, and sometimes those burgers and fries have a lot of fat and carbohydrates in them. All the things you're trying to avoid when you're trying to lose weight. So if you can bring your own salad, there are salads that you can get that are in bags, and you can bring your own dressing. If you're in a stationary place or if there's a kitchen where you work at, most times you can leave them in the refrigerator and just pull them out and prepare your own salad, healthy salad for lunch. And usually if you have a large enough salad, most people they don't get hungry that quickly. And you would want to have some protein, maybe some chicken, some fish, or some leftovers from the night before. These are excellent ways to reduce your calories, but feel like you're satisfied. Unfortunately, the foods that you get from a fast food restaurant, they fill you up initially, but they don't last as long as you would like. Also, if you are one of those persons who like to cook your own meals, the night before or maybe on the weekends, you can prepare enough to have for the rest of the week. So you can prepare enough for your meals and for lunch. So if you're only going to have a salad, all you need is the protein. Just bring some protein with you. Or if you're more industrious and you've made a nice soup or you have a nice dish that you like to bring, by all means you do it, because you're the one that's ultimately going to eat it. And as long as you're eating something substantial that has a lot of nutritional value, you're going to be the winner in the long run. Also, you would want to have to try to get, if you're going to have beef, if you have it available to you, I would suggest grass-fed. And sometimes that is on the expensive side. But if you are going to have steak, try to find the cuts of steak that have the least amount of fat in it. Like flank, chuck tends to have a lot more fat in it. Fish is an excellent meat to add to your salads or your dinners, especially salmon, trout, any kind of fish, freshwater or from the ocean, are excellent sources of protein for you. And many of those can be prepared at home ahead of time. And you just need to take that with you. There's a lot of controversy about fish, whether it is grown in farms in the ocean or it's wild caught. The wild caught are probably better because they're not in a time constrained situation. And I don't even know whether we can really test to see what types of things or what types of problems some of these fish have in these little farms. And I have never seen one, so I really can't tell you though. And that goes for the chicken also. A lot of people are moving to organic chicken or pastured chicken where the chickens are allowed to walk around. Those forms of chicken are possibly better because then they're not fed a specific diet, so the chicken gets a chance to eat stuff that they would normally eat. The other thing you would probably want to do is when you're preparing your foods, make sure you use a healthy fat. Virgin olive oil is probably one of the better ones that you can use. It comes in various forms, and now they have several different kinds. Some just for sautéing, some for frying, some that you can make your salad dressing with. Just read the labels and decide which one you think is going to work best for you. Additionally, there has been a surge in the use of coconut oil. The research, and depending on what source that you look at, have varying views of the coconut oil. Some articles say more research needs to be done. Other articles say go ahead and use the coconut oil because there are some beneficial effects associated with your cholesterol. Since it has not been conclusively proven, I would say do your research before you start using the coconut oil. See if it's something you think you can work with, and by all means, let your doctor know and have them weigh in on whether you should be using the coconut oil or not. The other main thing that I would suggest is definitely read the labels. in our country, there are many ingredients that we may not be able to spell or pronounce. And they're put in there as preservatives or what have you. But in your quest for weight loss and healthy weight loss, I would suggest that you learn what these different ingredients are and see if they would be advantageous for you. My general recommendation is that you should avoid any of these extra ingredients that you really don't know. And the other thing is, many of these extra ingredients, no one has done any research on them, or if it has, it's not well known. It's not well known. So avoid any of these packages with lots of different ingredients that you probably cannot pronounce, and they may not be good for you in the long run anyway. Okay, so we've generally talked about some of the suggestions we would have to help you reduce the weight that you are carrying. Now, the other part of that is exercise. Now, some of you have been going to the gym religiously, and until coronavirus, you didn't have any problem. But now you have another set of things that you have to adjust to. And that is finding some exercises to do at home to equate to what you were doing in the gym. Things that you can do during this season of the COVID virus is walking. Walking is an excellent exercise, and the general goal to start is 10,000 steps. I tell people not to stop at 10,000 steps. I tell them to challenge themselves, get up to 15,000 steps, and you can do that throughout the day. And if that's not helping, I would say just add an extra 30, go out and walk outside. And it's probably healthier for you anyway, if you can. Now, I live down here in Charlotte. The temperature now is 93 plus. And a lot of times we can't get out and start walking because it's very hot. And even in the morning time, I think that this morning was like 73 degrees or so. So you may have to do it very early in the morning, like at 6 o'clock, or later in the evening. But make sure you're safe when you're doing it. Failing that, you can always walk on a treadmill, or go to a friend's house and walk on the treadmill if you need to. Another exercise that people enjoy is jogging. Now, I would caution you, if you haven't jogged before, I would say take it at a very slow pace and start out doing 5 to 10 minutes. And within 2 weeks, I would say get up to 15 minutes. And then as the month goes on, gradually increase it 5 minutes each week. That way you're not injuring anything, and you're getting into your stride, and you're burning calories as you would like. Ellipticals are also another excellent exercise. This one is low impact, and walking is low impact too. I forgot to mention that. But you burn off a lot of calories, and in addition to that, not just in your legs and your buttocks, you're also using your arms too. And so you're burning more calories, and you're getting your heart rate up there. And I enjoy doing elliptical, so I highly recommend it. Now, I have not forgotten you people who do not have any exercise equipment. We have something for you. There are, of course, for a price, other exercises, especially by Beachbody. They have, I guess, in some ways, pioneered some of these exercise routines for people at home with a very small space. So P90X is always a very good type of exercise if you can really challenge yourself and do all the exercises. These exercises give a guarantee after a certain amount of time. And I would say if you want to take that on, just remember that some of these exercises on these websites, some of them may not be beginner exercise sites. So you may want to tone it down for the first month or so, and then rev it up as you get a little more strength, and you can be a little bit more persistent with the repetitions that they have. The other thing that Beachbody has is by Shaun T. Shaun T has been, and probably still is, one of the fitness persons that has made Beachbody very famous. And he has his own line of fitness exercises that people can do. I think the one that I saw was Shaun T30, and he guarantees that you'll lose a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time. And I just, as I said with the P90X, please start out slow and then gradually work your way up, because we don't want you to injure yourself. And yes, the people on those videos look great, and you will look great too, but you have to take your time and gradually build your way up. So I hope that the suggestions that we have made about diet and exercise will be helpful for you to start working on your Corona belly. We don't want anyone to have to suffer that, in addition to some of the other things that we're going through with the COVID-19, AKA coronavirus. So I hope this talk has been helpful, and we will see you again at our next talk. Goodbye, everyone. And I am Dr. Hope Watts, board certified family physician, health coach, speaker, and lifestyle expert.